Hi, my name is Asia and this is my channel Bianco Dot. I usually do videos in Italian, but this is an international matter and I wanted to address it in English. We're talking about Kooleen. I used to follow her. I'm not following her right now, I think. And so this means I don't know everything she's posted, and this is more of a consideration and not addressing racism. Because I don't think I need to explain that she has stated something that is racist. And it's not my place to pinpoint what she said and why it is offensive. Because first of all, there are other videos about that. And second of all, it's not my place to say something like that. What I want to address is that the way she's thinking, the way she draws, it's not what artist does. It's not, it doesn't make her, she's not a good artist. And I'm not saying that it's not a judgment on her person, but it's a judgment on what she does and why I think she's not going to be good at art. First of all, what does being good at art mean? It actually means kind of nothing, because we tend to forget that realism doesn't equal being good at art, and cartoony or shaky lines and stuff like that doesn't equal being bad. What really matters behind your art, it's your techniques, how you draw, what is your proportion, what is your vision of art. I want to start by saying that what she posts are illustrations of but stop illustration, faces. It's bland, it's boring. I'm not saying my art is better. I'm not saying my art is a revolution. I post faces and stuff too because it's easier to draw, and sometimes I do them to distress Da Vinci. But it's what I post mostly. I want to put your attention on the fact that most artists have a vision, they have a project. She doesn't, it seems she doesn't have one, which is not compulsory. You don't have to have a project to be an artist, but it goes to show that she doesn't need what an artist needs. I mean, I'm not calling an illustrator for posting studies of faces. An illustrator is someone that has a storytelling, has a vision, has something to tell. I want to show you this book I have, which is by kaneoya Sachiko, and she's an illustrator. She has one character that she uses the most, but you can see she has a vision, she has something to tell, she has a fil rouge in her art. There is a storytelling in that. This is a project. This is the reason you learn how to draw, because you have something to tell. What does she have to tell? I mean, she's having fun drawing, and that's it. There's nothing wrong with having fun drawing. Actually, I want fan back too. I'm having a crisis, but what I'm trying to say is that doesn't make you an artist. It's maybe more of an hobby. And I don't want to focus on words. It's not like a professional makes you better. It's just a statement. I want to make it clear. The fact is that she doesn't need to be good. She doesn't need to be better. She doesn't need to explore, because she does that for fun, and she doesn't care about creating something. I also want to say that a tutorial are kind of, I've learned from drawing manga, so I'm not the bestie either. I've learned afterward how to draw, really. So I started with bad anatomy and bad proportions too. Because I used to follow manga instead of realism. Not now my style is semi-realistic, so you can see how far I advanced. The mistake, you follower of Kooleen, you don't want to draw only Eurocentric people. Because where the fuck is your story set where everyone is Eurocentric? In Japan, where everyone is Japanese, but they are all European-centric beauty standards. You see where the point is. I know this is my realism thing that I want, if something is set in Japan, when I do fan art, they are Japanese. I know it's my problem. I was, for example, drawing Yotasque from Blue Period, and the mid-drawing I was like, wait a minute, this is Japanese, and I had to change his eyes. You need to understand that if you want to be an artist because you have a project, don't follow people that put restriction in your heart. Don't follow people that say don't draw ugly people. Don't follow those people's advices. I'm not saying don't follow them. I have to be so precise with whatever I say to avoid being misunderstood. Okay. What I was saying, don't follow those people's advices because they don't care about variety in the art. Nothing wrong with that, yeah, there is something wrong with that actually, but let's pretend there's nothing wrong with that. And if you want to create something that's more complex and more true, I'm not saying realistic, I'm saying true, you need to learn how to draw different ethnicity, ugly people, background. I'm sorry, you need to draw to learn how to draw that. You need to learn how to draw most things you can. How good an artist is, it's based on one, how good they are in that one thing they choose, or two, how good they are in different styles, in different variation of stuff they can draw. Which means that if you only focus on one thing, if you only care about one thing, you're not gonna get better at art. You're gonna be the same old thing in 20 years. You're not gonna get better. You're gonna stagnate in your same thing forever. And this is so scary because the best thing about art is that you never stop learning. So why stop learning? Why you should stop learning? You shouldn't. That's why I'm saying to you, if someone says things like, you shouldn't draw that, you shouldn't draw ugly people. First of all, bullshit. You should learn how to draw ugly people for two reasons. They exist, they're fun to draw, and sorry, third reason, ugly people doesn't exist in art. Why is the reason? Because you filter reality through your heart, through your sensibility. And whatever you create can't be ugly unless you can't draw. I mean, if you can draw, if you have purpose on what you draw, if you want to say something through your heart, you can't draw ugly things. The reason is very simple. There is the concept of sublime, which is the concept of the fascination with the ugly, the horror, and stuff like that. Through that, this kind of fascination is so, with death also, is so strong, you end up liking the rotten you see. It's the beauty of the destroyed. This is what art does. It makes, out of bad stuff, it turns them into something fascinating, beautiful to see, mesmerizing. This is the reason you shouldn't not to draw, but you should draw ugly people. They are not ugly. If you are good at drawing, your your techniques will make it look beautiful, because the viewer will see the interpretation of the ugly. Will see the wrinkles, the up nose, which are usually associated with not standard beauty. They are super pretty. Don't get the nose job, king or queen. Oh God. You turn them into something beautiful. So if you're scared of drawing ugly things because you are scared of the concept of not pretty, first of all, girl, what? Second of all, it doesn't exist. Ugliness doesn't exist in art. And I'm not saying that if you want to draw something that is ugly, you can't. It's what I was saying before. It's so ugly. You made it look so ugly that it's so fucking beautiful, in a way. But I get not everyone likes the concept of sublime. I love it, for example. But anyway, if you want to create a project, you have a project in mind, you have a vision, you can't stop yourself to not drawing ugly people. Where is your fucking story set? In a model company? They're all models, even the photographers? I don't think so. It's stupid. No one cares about that. What are you, a Hollywood movie? No one cares about it. No one. The reason we like art, it's because we can do whatever the fuck you want. You don't have to put a pretty actor in your story so that everyone wants to see and pay for your stupid movie. You can draw whatever you want. I mean, you have to put a couple of hot people to sell more, but you can have way more fun than everything else. So why you should not have fun because someone is ugly? It's so stupid. I know you're better than that. Second of all, the gorilla profile thing, I'm not going to talk about the racism, because I don't think you need to know that racism is bad. I don't think you need to know that. But I'm going to talk about how rules work in art. You don't need to follow rules. This is a very abused phrase, but rules are made to be banned in art. Unless you want to follow realism, hyperrealism, or semi-realism. I'm personally on the semi-realism side, but that's another topic, I guess. But you need to know that the reason rules doesn't exist in art is because you have your own vision of what the world is around you. And you live by your own rules, and you can apply them to your art. You can draw what you like. You can draw whatever pleases you that doesn't fit the standard. You can exaggerate, especially if you like cartoony style. You exaggerate. You don't draw. You don't stick to reality. You don't do that. Lucky for you. You can escape reality. I don't. I like semi-realism. Anyway, what I was trying to say is that people that put rules to you doesn't want you to get better, because they don't understand that you need your own vision. And I'm not saying, okay, this is maybe more for semi-professional, because if you are learning You need to learn how reality works to bend it. This is the same reason rules exist, so that you can understand them and destroy them. But what I'm trying to say is that if you are a bit good at art, you shouldn't listen to people that want to restrict it. If you are learning, though, you should look for a professional to tell you how to draw. Because she's not a professional. I'm not either. I'm a semi-professional, actually. But anyway, and I'm a semi-professional because I have a degree, so I can say that. I finally have a degree. Yeah. Anyway, in comic art. It's not a real degree, actually. It's like a piece of paper that I still don't have because my school is super slow. But anyway. Sorry, I digress a lot. Well, I'm gonna finish it with also maybe make sure that the comments, the tutorial you follow are real, are from people that actually knows how to draw. If she's not bad at drawing, of course, but she's not either good. I'm sorry to say that. It's not like it doesn't fit my style. It doesn't. There are plenty of artists that are so different from me that I fucking love. The thing that I don't love about her is that her art is so generic. Again, I'm not saying my art is better, but it is. But what I'm trying to say is that her art is boring and it's generic. And I think, and this is also about my personal taste. So don't go around and say that I said she's objectively boring. It's boring to me. Even though I think it's objectively boring, but it's boring to me. It's always the same. It's same face syndrome, nothing different, always the same, always those pretty boys, stuff like that. We don't care about your pretty boys. We want to see the fucked up shit. We want to see the gore. Okay, maybe that's me. Okay, but what I'm trying to say is that the most important thing in your heart is that it's interesting. It's expressive. It tells you something. It expresses something. It teaches maybe something. Doesn't have to teach, but I'm reading Trigon right now, Trigon Maximum, and it's teaching me something. That's art. Anyway, you need to learn that your heart is yours. And you don't want to be perceived as boring. You want to be perceived as interesting. So my advice is to explore who you are before you draw. You cannot draw if you don't know yourself. I mean, yes, of course you can. But art tells other people about us more than we can say with words. So maybe try to be more open, more interesting in your heart, so that people may think that you're interesting as a person too, and maybe someone will love you. If your art isn't interesting, though, no one will care about you if they know it through your heart, and you're probably boring too. So my best advice is to just be cool, just be nice. It's not an advice about how to draw. It's not a tutorial on how to draw. It's just a state of mind. And see you next cowboy.